She threatened me. All it takes is one sentence from me, and you'll go to jail. And she really did it. She pinned the hit and run on me. 2 days earlier, my girlfriend borrowed my car. That night she wrecked it. And she was with her ex. All I have to say is that you were drunk, you drove, and you fled. The police will believe me. Her voice was casual, almost bored, like she was choosing what to eat for dinner. I gripped my keys, stared at her. You're threatening me? She stepped closer, elegant posture, but her shadow felt sharp. It's not a threat. It's a fact. You drank, you lost control, insisted on driving. I was terrified, so I covered for you. Sounds believable, doesn't it? I inhaled slowly. You borrowed my car that night. You were driving. She smirked. Police believe crying women, not men with no evidence. The echo in the garage made the air cold. She wasn't angry, she was planning. Why are you doing this? She tilted my chin up gently, voice soft like a lover. Because you dumped me. I frowned. You were the one who ended it. She blinked once. Yeah, and I regret it. Her eyes turned cold. And you refused to take me back. She brushed a finger along the car door on her way out. Her whisper was a scalpel. If I can't have you, then I'll make sure you have nothing. The door slammed. The sound echoed like a gunshot. The police station wasn't loud, it was worse. Quiet, fluorescent, clinical. They slid a statement across the table. The words looked thin, like they could rip. Someone reported you as the driver in a hit and run while intoxicated. Who? I asked. The passenger, the detective replied. She says you forced her to lie. Said you were belligerent. He spread out photographs. Crushed metal, broken glass, skid marks. You have no arrests. No record. But she's emotional, credible. She cried. I asked. He nodded. She sounded sincere. That was enough for him. I placed an SD card on the table. Dashcam. For angles. Internal audio. GPS. She said you deleted everything. Then let's see. We watched in a tiny viewing room. The footage opened with her sliding into the driver's seat of my truck. Her ex in the passenger seat, tense. You sure we should use his truck? He muttered. He doesn't know, she laughed. Reckless. Sharp. Speed climbed. 60, 80, 97 miles per hour. Slow down, the ex said. You'll hit. Shut up. I know what I'm doing. Impact. Metal screaming. Then her voice. No one saw the plates. We leave. The clip froze. The detective exhaled slowly. We're reopening the case. That should have been the end of it. But she moved faster than a single lie. She built an echo chamber. She called friends, framed messages, picked audiences, and fit her story to whoever would listen. Social posts were edited in time to hit the morning feeds. She spoke on the phone like a rehearsed witness, slowing her breath into pretty sobs at certain pauses. She showed up in the lobby of my building and staged a breakdown in front of the cameras until security hauled her away. She filed an insurance claim that rearranged the crash into my culpability. Everyone who knew us suddenly had a story that began with me as violent, me as reckless. The ex faded from complicity to guilt. He called me at 3 a.m, voice raw. I can't be part of this, he said. I'll tell them the truth. His confession didn't erase the smear. It only opened a crack. I spent nights stacking copies of files, raw footage, timestamps, GPS logs, file hashes, into multiple encrypted drives. Paranoia turned into protocol. I changed passwords, logged cloud backups, printed logs. Evidence was the only armor that might hold against a story built of tears. Trial day felt like stepping into a machine calibrated for drama. She wore white, applied tears with the precision of a stage actor. The gallery leaned in. Her testimony was soft and shaped around heartbreak. "He controlled me," she said. "I was terrified." When the footage played in court, the hush was immediate. The camera captured reckless light and a grin, the ex's hand on the dash, then the sudden impossible sound of metal folding. The playback synced GPS, speed, and internal audio. The prosecution's analyst unspooled file metadata and checksums until each frame was anchored in verifiable truth. Then the ex stood. He told everything he'd hidden: the plan to race, her insistence, the moment of collision, and the words she'd said afterward. No one saw the plates. "We go." He said she told him to lie, to blame me, to claim she had been forced. She looked at him, and for a single second she was raw and unmade. "You promised," she said, like an accusation and a final plea. People saw the mismatch between performative sorrow and the recorded fact. The judge watched the analyst unpick the digital record. The prosecution closed with the single ugly truth: someone was injured and left. The defense tried to soften motive with love and fear, but the evidence was a knife against the fabrications. When the verdict dropped, guilty on hit and run, on false reporting, on attempted insurance fraud, her composure ruptured. She fell apart in a way the courtroom had never paid to watch. Truly broken, not theatrically ruined. She crawled toward me across the tile, mascara smeared, voice reduced to gravel. "Please," she begged. "Say one sentence. Just one. I won't go to prison." I did not say it. I could have lied. I could have bent the truth to spare a former intimacy. Instead, I stood still and let the justice we built from cameras and logs do the work that pity could not. Afterward came the quieter aftermath. I received a letter months later. A child's crayon drawing and a shaky sentence: "Thank you for saving Grandma." The judge's decision had allowed the injured woman's family to pursue reparations and to rebuild some foothold of normalcy. The tiny drawing was not a trophy. It was a reminder of what evidence protects. I bought a fireproof box and placed a new SD card inside. I duplicated files across drives and encrypted them. I organized a printed ledger of timestamps and hashes and left it where anyone I might someday love could find it and know the truth without having to ask me to retell it. There are mornings when a flash of her on the driveway wakes me. An image of what almost became my life. I do not gloat. I do not hope for her ruin beyond the consequence of her own choices. I pity the way she learned the limits of spectacle too late. Her breakdown at trial was not a triumph I would savor. It was proof that performance can convince, but it cannot overwrite persistent, properly kept facts. It never felt like revenge. It felt like prevention. I will not hand another person the power to reduce my life to one sentence.